Hello, my people. Welcome back to my page. Okay, the last time we are still on Wace 2026 physics. So the last time I stopped at number 8. Going to start from where I stopped. All right. This one says sonar is a device used by submarines to detect underwater objects and the water depth. The primary characteristics utilized by this device is dash A. Electromagnetic induction. B. Reflection of wave. C. Temperature. D. Magnetism. This one, the main primary assignment that is assigned to them is what? Reflection of wave. Reflection of wave. So B is the correct answer. Alright. Number 10 says the lost volt of a cell is the potential difference across dash A. The terminal of the cell. B. The external resistor. C. The internal resistance of the cell. D. The voltmeter. If you're talking about the lost volt in the potential difference across the internal resistance of the cell is the external is the internal resistance of the cell. That is the correct answer. So the answer is C. Correct answer is C. The internal resistance of the cell. We're talking about loss of volts in the potential difference of a cell across the potential difference is what? Internal resistance of the cell. Number 11 question. Number 11 question says, a girl observes an elevated image of a piece of stone at the bottom of the swinging pool, 6-meter depth. When she looks vertically downwards, determine displacement of the stone from the bottom of the pool. If the refractive index is 1.33. So if you are trying to solve this, now for us to accept the apparent depth of this, we now say 6 that we are given divided by 1.33, right? We're having approximately 4.5. So now for us to find the displacement, because we say you should determine the displacement of this particular, of the depth of this. Now what we already now say 6 minus 4.5. So be having roughly 1.5 meters. So the one that is close to it is what? 1.5 meters. A. Okay. Number 12. They said in the diagram below, U is the object distance from a lens, and the V is the distance of the image produced. Right. Now, using this now, they said using this diagram, right? We are using this diagram in calculating. So if you are using this diagram, now say the slope of the graph represents the dash. The slope of the graph is represented by the dash. A. We have principal focus. B. Inversion of the focal length. C. Focal length. D. Magnification. So if you are using the graph of the graph, if you are using this, now say using this information we have above, now the slope of the graph should be what? Should be the inverse of focal length. Inverse of focal length. If you are given this, because you are seeing this as the focal length. So for us to determine the slope involving this, now the answer is the what? Inverse of what? Focal length. Alright. So number 13 question. if the temperature of a piece of metal of mass 100 gram and specific heat capacity is 460 joule per kilogram per Kelvin, falls from 70 degrees to 20 degrees. Calculate the quantity of the heat released. Now, we are given these options. So, what will you do? In calculating this, quantity of heat will now give me MC change in T. Now with this, M here is 100 gram. Now specific heat capacity has initial of 460. Okay, then temperature here. Change in temperature. We are given two temperature here. You have from 70 to 20. So the thing is decreasing from 70 to 20 now. So it says 70 minus 20. So the temperature we are going to use here is what? 50. So putting distance inside the formula. So we now have that 100 multiplied by 460 multiplied by 50. So we're having, if you punch your calculator, I'm having 2,300,000 in meters because it's the quantity. Or you can change it because it's in what? It's in indices. So quantity of heat. The answer will be in joules. Not in meters. Right? So you can say 2.3 times 10 raised to power 6. 2.3 times 10 raised to power 6 joules. So the correct answer here is option what? Option D. Option D will give us the correct answer. Alright. Now number 14 question. 14 question says two bodies of mass M1 and M2 are connected in a ceiling as illustrated in the diagram above. When we are looking at this, you see that this connection is what? Parallel connection. It's a parallel connection. Now for us to, then I said the extension T2 in the middle, this extension T2 in this middle strength is given by the expression. Now I'm taking gravity due to gravity as J. Now if you are using this, then I said that you should using this diagram above. The one in the middle with this T2 will now be what? M2G. So that is option B.